Hello, 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 hello. What's up, everyone? I am back with another painting stream. I'm going to be doing an eye painting marathon. So for those that don't know, I have an art channel. I'm actually dual streaming right now just to get, because I had to take a break from my main channel, because I was fulfilling calendars and all of that. So I had to take a little break. So I'm trying to just, show YouTube that I'm still active on here. I don't know how many eyes I'm going to be actually able to paint today because I totally forgot today's Wednesday and I have my stream with Jesse. But I'm going to show you guys a little example in a minute once it finishes loading of what exactly the eye project is if you are unfamiliar with that. So I got the idea to do a project where I paint 100 eyes because I really enjoy painting portraits and I wanted to improve my skill. And I, have heard from many people that the best way to do something and to learn something and to master something is that you have to do it over and over and over again. And so at least from what I've heard from, artists that I like and respect, and, not only that, like their work is incredible, is that you need to do something about 200 to 250 times. So to truly master it. And, that's just one thing. So like painting eyes, I need to do it 200 times. So that way I know, I master it in a certain way. Now, let me show you up here on the screen. So this, I believe, is the first 36 eyes that I did in order so you can see the progression. And then after realizing that I like not painting on, a reddish burnt umber canvas, I like the way it looks on a black canvas. That way I can really see the colors and all of that. And then also, here is the next batch. And as you guys can see, I think I progressed, at least in my own opinion. Now, I'm actually going to start off the stream by repainting one of the eyes. There was a gentleman who he sent me an eye picture and he was letting me know that he had, kind of trouble not painting. He had kind of trouble getting he had trouble getting the photo, and it was very blurry and the lighting was off. And this is why I tell people the higher the quality the image, the better the painting will turn out. So he let me know because he got his wife to, volunteer for the eye project too. And when he sent me his wife's photo, he was like very proud that he was able to, get a better photo. And the photo that he sent me, was completely different, like the skin tones, the way that his eye looked. I mean, it wasn't obviously, some things are going to be blurred more than others and whatnot, but I could see so much more of the details of his eye in the second photo versus the first one. So I, offered, if he would like me to repaint his photo for him. And he said that he would, because he agreed with me, after, obviously I've never met this person, but after seeing the better photo, it's like, wow, it's a big difference from the first photo. So I'm actually, if you look up on the screen right now, the very first photo in the top right, or excuse me, left-hand corner, go one over to the right. That is the photo I'm going to be painting or repainting to begin with. So I have for those of you that are new to this and you guys don't know how the eye project works and how do I even say this? Like how this goes. I start off by mixing the paint and then I go and start painting the eye. So I like to pre-mix my colors, and I just think that that's, more educational for people that want to, see how that works. But yeah, so everyone please smash the like button if you haven't already. I am dual streaming right now. On as YouTube's on my that Star Wars Girl account as well as on my art channel account. So feel free to watch either one, whichever one you want. I do have both of the chats up. I will try to keep an eye on them, But yeah, so I'm going to start off by mixing paint. I just sent myself a couple eye photos. That way I have it on my phone. And I also, just an FYI to everyone, I have been listening to the Johnny Depp trial in the background. And I've been switching between Tug and Nick's stream. So if there's one that you would rather listen to, let me know. But sometimes I like watching Tug's just because, you know, there's less talking. And I really want to hear what Johnny is saying and whatnot. Oh my gosh, one of Nick's guests has a picture of a puppy as their photo. But when the trial does get back on, I am going to listen to it in the background. I don't typically talk a lot during these streams just because I really get hyper focused. If you have any questions, if I'm not responding, I'm probably not looking up at my screen. But just so my mods don't ban you for spamming, if you do have like an art question that's not sent in a super chat, just let my mods know that, hey, I have this art question for Anna and I'm not trying to spam, but I know she only looks up from time to time. So just let my mods know that. Nico, thank you for the member chat. Member for 6 months. Art channel is dead as fuck. Can't even find it in search. Yeah, the problem with my art channel is, since that's a live stream only channel, it'll only get recommended if, you know, what is it? If, sorry, I'm having like a brain fart right now. It only gets recommended if you watch long formatted content. I actually need to find a better name for my art channel because I don't like it. It's way too long. It's The Art of Anna TSWG Studios. I think I might just switch it to TSWG or like TSWG Paints or TSWG Art. If you guys have any good ideas for a better art channel name for me that incorporates TSWG in some way, shape, or form, that'd be awesome. But that being said, I have a little bit of a different camera setup because I moved things and whatnot. So you guys will get to see. I'll put it up here. You guys will get to see a reflection of my ceiling and my face. So let me come over here. Hi. You guys can kind of see me. You'll see it at an angle. Let me get this up. So let me move my microphone over. I have a lot of stuff on my desk right now because I was adding leafing to some of these eyes. If you guys want to see a kind of close to finished eye. So this is a copper leafing that this gentleman wanted. So usually with these paintings, so this is one that is done. It's dried and I put on varnish. So it has that nice finish. And so this is it just plain black. And then what I do is I add metallic leafing when it's done. So everyone that, you know, volunteers, I let them pick what kind of leafing. Some people want me to pick, which it's a lot of pressure because I'm like, what if I pick something they don't like? But as you can see, this, like this gentleman, he was like, I don't want to like pick for your artwork. And I'm like, no, like this is going to be in your house. Like I want it to match your house and your aesthetic. But yeah, if you guys like it, better when it's black, put a 1. And if you guys like it better when it's, when it's leafed, put a 2. Christopher Prophet, thank you so much for the $100 super chat. Holy crap, my dude. Thank you so much. Also, Chris, what kind of leafing do you want for your eye? I can't remember. You guys want to see Chris's eye? I don't know where it is. Oh, it's in my other shelf. Chris, what kind of leafing do you want? Oh, I see some of you guys like it better one. Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. Hello, Anna. I can't stay long because I'm at work, but I wanted to stop by and say hi and show you some support. Also, can't wait for your gallery. Hope you're doing well and keep up the good work. Oh my God, thank you so much, Chris. Chris, before you go, tell me what kind of leafing did you want? Oh, vintage silver. Okay, I'm going to highlight that. So I don't lose it. Mods, take note. Actually, let me go grab a vintage silver. Let me find one. Let me show you. Sorry, guys. Okay. let me show you guys these. So this is vintage copper. That was a plain black one. This one's not done. As you guys can see, there's flakes on it. So this is shiny silver. As you can see, it's like kind of reflective. It's like very, very tension. I like it though. It grabs your eye from a distance. This is the problem when you have leafing, is you get flakes everywhere. I try to keep these outside, when I do all of this, and then bring them in once I'm done. And then this is the vintage silver. And then this is Christopher Prophet's eye. So that's going to look really pretty on there when it's done. But yeah, it's fun getting to see like what people pick and whatnot. All right. Seal Hunter, thank you for that. Keep #MePoop trending for Johnny Depp. Oh shit, it's back on. All right, guys. Got the trial on.
She hopes that my son's stepfather can teach him how to be a man.
What a bitch. Did I send myself these eye photos?
And I believe she says something about...
I did. Come on, where's my eye photo?
More man and the stepfather than would be existing in my... I believe the term is Rasmane.
How often did Miss Hurt bring your children into your argument?
Too often.
Yeah, it's none of her business. Okay. Could you imagine?
My kids are far more intelligent than I am. And they broke. They wouldn't be around this earth anymore. They refuse to be around it anymore.
That's
they
good.
Like the way
my favorite paint mixer broke. Trying to get in the swing of new ones.
A very elegant letter by my daughter to Miss Hurt. I don't know if that's in evidence. I remember my daughter
Objection,
sent
here's
a text to Miss Hurt.
Here it comes.
I'm sorry, I read the email.
Yeah, I understand. When did you learn that you were filed for divorce?
My favorite paint mixer broke, and these ones are all like kind of new, so it takes a minute to like get used to them and to get them to bend like the way that you need so I can scrape more up.
That night I spoke to her about divorce. First was the kicker. I believe it was on the 23rd, and I had already left town for New York to prepare for the tour.
Did Ms. Hurd know that you were out of town at that time?
I don't know.
No, I want to hear more about the kids. Like, I wish that the kids would test. I mean, that's terrible to put them through, but I mean, I'd want to hear from their perspective, like how it was to watch their dad get treated like this. And I mean, it must have been hard because, like, didn't he cheated on their mother with Amber, so there is that animosity there, probably. But I mean, it sounds like he's a very loving father.
Birthday, I saw that she had gone to a court. It was, I don't know, some court, and there were paparazzi everywhere, and her, and a brown mark on her face. And it also happened to be the day that Charlie and Alice in Wonderland 2 that the looking glass was opening, and that's the day that she chose to get the go to the courthouse and get a TRO, temporary restraining order against me. But I was in Europe already.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to show you what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 487. And just for the record, this is a very long document, and we will be showing pages 492 through 494.
Oh my god, this thing's not used to it. I don't like these paint mixers. Like, I liked my old one. Why did it have to break?
I can give them an opportunity and go through it with Mr. Depp, if that's okay. Mr. Depp, do you recognize any of these text messages that are on the screen in front of you?
Mm.
Vague memory of these.
Who were these communications between?
Looks like myself and it's me in the green, and Ms. Heard's words in the blue.
And do your communications reflect that Ms. Heard understands that you're in New York?
I'm sorry.
What is the date of your text messages here on this page?
Who do you think Amber Heard's, which one of Amber Heard's lawyers do you think is going to question him? The old mean lady or the dude?
The 24th of May, 2016.
And based off of these communications, does this refresh your recollection that Ms. Heard knew that you were in New York on this date?
In her text, when do you leave? It was clear that I was leaving right away, but I'm not sure that I wasn't already. I wasn't in New York City. We weren't playing in New York City. We were playing. We were rehearsing in a casino, and that
Casino
was where we
Royale.
did our first show. First show.
Also, if I have any mods in the chat, if you guys could like just drop my art Instagram for anyone that wants to watch like previous time lapses.
Leaving from New York, but I think I was already there because New York City. We weren't. I don't recall we were playing New York City, so maybe I was suggesting going there.
Could we please turn to the page 494? And Mr. Depp, you see the text message from Ms. Heard on May 24th, 2016 at 6:33?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And do you understand what Ms. Heard is referring to in this text message?
Is it alright if I just take a quick glance?
Please do.
Thank you.
It's so bizarre thinking that like this is Johnny Depp. This is not an act that he's putting on. It's like this is really him and his life, and he's not reading a script. Get a little of this, make it lighter.
How much reading? It's an awkward silence. Must fill it with narcissistic commentary.
Yeah, the text is.
I remember. I recall.
And what do you recall about this?
That it made no sense to me. It just didn't.
You zoom in so you guys can see better.
Especially about, well, as long as you don't file, nobody will know. And just didn't, again, I'm not all that familiar with these types of things, but if, I mean, if it's two people in a relationship and the relationship is ending, in any case, the outcome is divorce. So I didn't understand these explanations that this can happen or it cannot happen. Or I only did this because my lawyers said to. It just didn't make any sense to me, and it looked like she was kind of grabbing at straws, trying to figure out what, in fact, to do.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to just ask you about a couple of statements Ms. Heard made in this text message. She first says, just to confirm that the cover letter is completely private and has nothing to do with any public record. You see that? The first sentence in the text message.
Yes, I do.
Do you know what cover letter Ms. Heard is referring to?
No, I don't.
And then she says, and only included the domestic violence / restraining order stuff because I called the lawyer when the cops were here and I didn't know what to do or why that happened and was scared. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you know what Ms. Heard is referring to when she said that?
No.
And then dropping down to the bottom.
Only did the domestic
says,
violence restraining order
"Lines up,
because she didn't know what to do at all.
You see that?
Yes.
And do you have any understanding as to why Ms. Heard thought you had already filed?
No.
Could you imagine, like,
I had
being this much of a villain to Johnny Depp? Like, he just sounds like a great guy.
was when I told her on the phone that I was going to file. For divorce, and in the way that I had explained it, to keep everything nice and calm and even. But on the 23rd, she filed, and so I hadn't had a chance to file.
Your Honor, I would move Plaintiff's Exhibit 487, specifically the portions from page 492 to 494 into evidence.
Gosh, it feels like something just bit me.
Yes, Your Honor, it's a 700-page document. So
700 pages. Holy crap.
I believe so, Your Honor.
So this is 487 page.
Certainly, that would make sense.
Okay, so 487 page 492 to 494. Any objection to those two pages? All right, those two pages. Right, 490, that would be 3 pages.
That's correct.
Okay, 492, 494.
Could that please be published to the jury?
Should we call it?
So a lot of
Zoom.
artists
See
just
this?
go
That
straight into
Zoom.
painting.
did end up seeking a temporary.
Oh my God.
Correct.
Yes, she did.
And what did, I believe you already said this, but could you just remind the jury what date was that?
27th of May.
And where were you when you learned that Ms. Heard actually filed a temporary restraining order against you.
I don't recall if we had left for Europe as yet.
I feel like this is the same fucking question over and over again.
The tour. So I was either in New York State rehearsing and preparing to go to Europe, or I was already in Europe. I'd have to check the tour dates.
Did you find out on the 27th or shortly thereafter?
No, I found out on the 27th. It was everywhere.
What do you mean when you say it was everywhere?
It was multiplying and multiplying and multiplying throughout media, throughout social media, throughout
That was a weird noise.
so-called sort of straight media or whatever. And I was taken aback.
If we could take this down and please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 411.
God, lady's crazy. And I don't even mean never heard.
Mr. Depp, is this some of the media coverage that you were referring to?
Many things of this nature, yes.
And do you recall actually seeing this specific article?
I don't remember seeing this specific article, but there were already plenty, and certainly more than I was happy to go through. I think once you read one or two of them, the general idea is that the point had been made clearly.
Your Honor, I move Plaintiff's Exhibit 411 into evidence. Can you please take it down and pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 414?
Then there were two.
No pressure.
Mr. Depp,
Yes.
do you recognize this article at all?
I remember yeah, I don't know if it was this one in particular, but I do remember seeing all the various reasons behind reasons behind her needing to get a temporary restraining order, a TRO against me, which they just started to metastasize into these
It's not a word you hear every day.
abuse allegations, and there was alcohol, and there was drugs, violence. It just it was already right then and there before my eyes spinning out of control, and there was not a word that I could say.
Your Honor, I would move Plaintiff's Exhibit 414 into evidence. And if we could take this down now, please, and put up Plaintiff's Exhibit 409. Your Honor, if I could move plaintiff's exhibit 409 into evidence as well. Thank you. Mr. Duck, do you recall seeing this People's
There's too much yellow.
article?
Yes, I do.
And when did you see it?
Right when it was released, right when it came out.
Did you speak to anyone about this article?
Yes, I did.
Who did you speak to?
Mostly friends. My sister Christy, mostly friends. And certainly the band.
Hmm.
And my kids. I had to alert them that
That's got to be rough.
there might be some ugly things coming out that were most assuredly going to put me in the position of some violent drug-addled alcoholic, you know, just reprobate. And I wanted to warn them before they were approached with the people in Madison covered in school by other kids. I wanted to be able to tell. I mean, I sick instinct that there was no truth in it. There was no truth in it whatsoever. And the fact that it was coming down on me so hard, and so quickly, and how it gained momentum around the world. And then there's people looking at you differently.
Poor Johnny.
Calls coming from agent, producer, that sort of thing.
Sorry, I'm just changing this out
This was
so I can zoom into this.
The Me Too movement had come around. This was a while before that, so I couldn't have expected the Me Too movement to happen. But once that happened, then it just went into skyrocket mode. So you're
All right, time to start painting. Sorry it's at an angle. That's just the way that my camera is, so that way my other camera can be straight.
You're running between drops of lava. You're trying to run between raindrops that are that kill you, destroy you. I was very,
Star Wars stickers.
very hurt because,
Okay.
as I said before, when you're in a relationship and you do give your truth to
Your truth.
intimate truths to that person that you're with, and then they start to use all that information and stretch it out into something that is completely shocking, because it, as I said, it just didn't happen. And so I felt like it was incredibly cruel and treachery. I felt it was treachery. It was I don't know if she wanted me to just be erased or
Yes.
drop dead, or
Yes.
or just let me stick around and allow her to ruin my life for a while, and
What a bitch.
go out of her way to shame me and hurt my kids and hurt people who I've known for many, many years. You know, it was, I mean, to say that it was unfair is about the largest understatement that I, it's actually the smallest understatement. It controlled my every waking second, from the moment that I woke up until the moment that I dropped. Even on the road, playing shows, you go out and you play for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and you do your best to get through that. And I can remember getting off of finishing the show, getting on the bus with the other band members, and just going to the back of the bus and just you know, you had to get it out. So I just sat back and in the back of the bus and
Back of the bus.
Okay, tried.
cried and hit it.
Well, no, I'm on Amber's side because he tried.
Did you ever have
Oh.
You're going on the bus. You can go back on Johnny's side.
allegations with any producers or directors in the movie industry?
Only if they go into the category of friends. For example, Tim Burton, who was
It's so crazy having like all of these name drops.
known him since we made Edward's Hands together in 1990. We've been
Greatest movie.
very, very, very close friends.
It's a good one.
I will fight over that. Anybody fight me. Best movie ever.
Yes, friends, you know. And then, of course, as we were on the road, you know, the fellows in the band, you know, Alice Cooper is the singer of the Vampires, is a dear friend. And
Susan the right painters.
Joe
One of
Perry
my favorite
from
painters.
Aerosmith is in the band, and he's also a dear friend. And,
Just Alice Cooper and Joe Perry.
Oh my god.
It's a little
couple
group
of
we
other
put together.
members of the- yeah, very close friends, and I was bereft of any. You just don't know what to say anymore. You just know what to. So I tried not to talk about it very much at all. But Just a friend.
Mr. Depp, when did you and Miss Heard divorce?
When was the divorce final?
Yes.
The divorce was final January
Get this bitch out of my life.
2017 on Friday the 13th.
And how were your divorce proceedings resolved ultimately?
Here we go. We're gonna get to that charity donation that never happened. Again.
My team of lawyers, which included two of my entertainment lawyers, a divorce attorney, and two more attorneys that were on Blair Burke, and someone else. I wanted to, for lack of a better word, I wanted to fight it. I wanted to fight it because there wasn't an ounce, not a grain, not a molecule of truth to it. So I wanted to fight it.
He was
He's speaking about
On
his.
the declarant.
I think the next one would be they said, I don't know.
Yes,
That's
and
not the goddamn standard.
it's not
um,
offered for the truth of what they said.
Did you pay Miss
It's
Heard
his
any
state of
money
mind.
to the divorce?
Yes.
Yes.
And how much was that?
Her settlement, she wanted $7 million. I believe that was the settlement. Yes, $7 million.
Fucking A. Go get a job,
Was there a
woman.
joint statement that you and Miss Heard released?
Yes, that's where I was getting. The advice that I was given was to not to fight.
It's
The effect on the
his.
declarant
Who was this one?
is mine. His motivation for making the stand statement.
Did you approve the joint statement before it was issued?
I feel like a lot of people are going to study the law. Like now, like even like Kyle Rittenhouse was saying that he's like, I want to be a lawyer because this shit's bullshit.
Matt one. The joint statement wasn't the hearsay. The judge improperly, in my opinion, decided that the words of his lawyer, which are the reasoning behind his decisions,
And
were the
Mr. Depp,
hearsay.
can you see
That's not
second
hearsay.
paragraph from the bottom of this page? Is that the joint statement that you and Miss Heard released together?
Hashtag me poop. Hi Russell, thank you for the super chat. I pushed out a kid for that man.
Please read that joint statement. for the jury.
Russell, thank you for another super chat. Can you
Our
believe this
relationship
a-hole?
was intense and passionate,
All of the puns.
not violent, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. Amber wishes the best for Johnny in the future. Amber will be donating financial proceeds from the divorce to a charity.
Clues in there
What
about who
happened
wrote
after
it, you
this
think?
joint statement was issued, Mr. Depp?
What was that?
Clues in there about who wrote it, do you think?
Yeah, it was drafted entirely by her attorneys.
What happened after that?
My career went in the toilet where her turd belonged.
I suppose the next move was to start making payments to Ms. Heard. They were scheduled payments. And then at a certain point, Ms. Hurd had made statements to the press saying that the 7 million was going to be, 7 million was the settlement, and that 7 million was going to be split up between two charities. One was the ACLU, and the other was the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, which, in fact, was a breach of the agreement. Neither one of us were supposed to speak about details, money, anything of that nature. So when Mr. breached that agreement, that was when I asked Ed White, my business manager, to
President object for a legal conclusion on breaching the agreement.
payment directly to the charities in Ms. Hurd's name. And after I did that, Ms. Hurd was very, very angry that I had made those first payments, and she went into a kind of a tirade about how I should be charged double the 7. I should be charged 14 million, so that because she thought that I was looking for a tax break.
Mr. Depp, between the time that the joint statement was released and the time that the op-ed came out, how many movies did you work on in that time period? If you can recall.
When did the joint statement come out? Was it? I'm sorry.
Could you scroll up, please?
Russ Holdings, he told me not to leave the bed. What was I supposed to do? I'm the victim here. Oh my god.
I'll withdraw the question for the moment. In the time leading from the divorce through the, in the time period between when your divorce was finalized and the release of the op-ed in December 2018, do you have an estimate as to how many television or movie projects you worked on?
I don't exactly. I believe there was another, maybe a smaller tour with the vampires. And I don't remember. It's hard to remember.
Johnny, the funny thing, Johnny Depp in a band called the Vampires.
Sorry.
Your Honor, I apologize. Can we please move into evidence exhibit 408?
Okay.
We can redact that and
So you only redacted 408 with just the statement. Okay. That statement will be in evidence.
okay. Thank you. If we could please pull up plaintiff's exhibit 1. Mr. Depp, do you recognize this document?
Excuse me. Yes. I do.
And what is it?
This is Ms. Hurd's op-ed for the Washington Post. I believe came out in December of 18. I recognize it. Yes, I certainly remember this.
And have you actually read this op-ed?
Yes, I have.
And what do you think of it? Its contents?
Well, with Amber Heard, he actually reads things.
But he said she was literate.
Start, let's say, in terms of the title. If you could, can we scroll down a little bit, just for a second?
It's weird seeing like someone like Johnny Depp do this kind of stuff. I feel like I'm watching a movie, but it's like if he was trying to do one of those
going reading it,
like Cloverfield type of movie, where it's like found footage.
That,
so bizarre.
Written about what was obviously referring to our relationship. It was obviously referring to me 2 years ago. You know,
what if she completely emasculates him and was like, actually, I was talking about my other relationship from 2 years ago.
And then I read the rest of the article.
I was cheating
on
you.
About it.
Elon, maybe you both can testify then.
Scroll down just a little bit. After the Imagine a Powerful Man of the ship. Because she goes into, she talks about, in this section of the piece, she talks about the plight of women, not just in Hollywood, but in general in the world. And there were many things that I did not disagree with in terms of this part of the article. I understand anyone's passion to right the wrongs that have been done for countless years against any being who's suffered at the hands of domestic violence, be it
just say it.
Women, men, children. That's something, of course, coming from my background, that I am very, very against any bullying of any human being, any forced violence, any.
I dropped my paintbrush. So he's against everything that was being done to him.
Committed against any human being. So all this part of the article, this.
I'm trying to find another one that was just like that one.
I understood it very well. And
hope you guys are enjoying this stream. Please smash the like button if you are.
Some of this, I can absolutely say that I believe that it was very well done with regard to violence against women. And violence.
Well, consider it was written in part by lawyers from the ACLU.
It just seemed kind of a strange other side, like a two-headed coin.
Mr. Depp, did you experience any consequences after the release of the op-ed?
Absolutely.
And what were those?
Well, I believe it was, I don't think it took Disney very long, maybe a couple of days, to announce that I had been removed from the Pirates of the Caribbean films franchise, which I learned about reading in one of these type of books.
Oh my God, they did exactly to him what they did to Gina.
Fired in an
Where Sean
article.
Bailey was
That's what
quoted,
happened with Gina.
which was very odd to me, as I have had many creative conversations with the Disney people, even to the point of where they were asking me to come back and write Pirates. Sorry.
It's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted.
So, so I can read it out of someone's article, but not from the man's mouth. So,
Mr. Depp, what's your understanding is the status of Pirates 6?
at this moment,
Yeah.
I believe it's in dangle mode.
That's a
Mr. Depp,
technical
have you ever physically assaulted Miss Heard?
Never,
Have you ever sexually assaulted Miss Heard?
never, certainly not.
What have you lost as a result of Miss Heard making these allegations against you?
Everything.
Nothing less than everything. Nothing less than everything. Because when the allegations were made, when the allegations were rapidly
Psycho bitch.
circling the globe, telling people that I was a drunken, cocaine-fueled menace who beat women suddenly in my 50s. It's over. You know, you're done. So, what did it do to me? What effect did it have on me? I'll put it to you this way: no matter the outcome of this trial, the second the allegations were made against me, the accusations, the second that more and more these things, as I said, metastasized and turned into fodder for the media. Once that happened,
All right, I'm gonna add like the eye color.
or once that happened,
Maybe I should.
I lost. Then, that's to say, I lost because that is not a thing that anyone is gonna just put on your back for a short period of time. I will live with that for the rest of my life because of the allegations, because it was such a high-profile case. So I lost then, no matter the outcome of this trial. I'll carry that for the rest of my day. And it never had to be that way. It never had to happen. And I don't quite understand why it did in the way that it did.
Because you married a psycho, dude. She's fucking crazy.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Oh, wow. I didn't think they were going to rest today.
Wow. It's done?
Well, we can have to start a little bit today, just because I just not.
Yes.
Cross-examination.
Get your objection pants on, Depp's team. You better be ready because they've given you permission to object a lot.
Mr. Depp. Good afternoon, Mr. Rottenborn.
I'm happy that in the last little bit we've gotten the reason why we're here, and I'd like to start with that. If you could please pull up plaintiff exhibit 2.
Defense focus is going to be on the technicality of this stuff. That's where they're going to go here. Show me the lie. Show me where she lied about you.
That's all they've got.
Your Honor, I believe this is either in evidence or has been stipulated as part of the opening.
I said objection. No objection. Okay.
Permission to publish?
That's what would happen if like you were the biggest Johnny Depp fan and you got hired by Amber Heard. It's
This
like,
article,
fuck.
This opinion piece in the middle of the page there, Mr. Depp.
That'd actually be great if her lawyers were Johnny Depp fans and they like lose this case on
It was published
purpose.
On December 18th, 2018. Correct?
Let's say December 19th on it. The top of the page, doesn't that say December 19th, 2018?
Go ahead and
I
blow that
believe
up,
that the
Michelle.
2018 was the online. Is it not?
Okay, so December 18th, December 19th, this piece in the middle of the page is the opinion piece Ms. Heard wrote, right?
I should have diced it. So one of the problems when it's darker like this, like darker pigments, is it's going to have more shine and reflection into the camera. And that's because when you use like oils, that the more white in it, it's going to be less shiny. So it'll look more matte. And then the more you allow the pigments to, you know, just stay pigmented and not wash it out with white, it'll be more like shiny like this. So that's the reason.
Falsities that she used to bring
Do you
my
not know that these two statements are all that you're...
And you understand,
many things.
you understand, Mr. Depp, that you cannot, you are not suing her for any damage, alleged damage, or any accusations she made prior
Objection.
to writing this.
And that will be for the jury.
You're
to
aware of
decide.
that. You'd agree with that, right?
Objection. Object. No.
Could you say that again? Mr. Rottenborn?
You are not
He's saying his name.
bringing a lawsuit against her, bringing her into court in Virginia for anything that she did prior to writing this article, correct? You know that you can't do that, right?
Objection.
I have to say that I, as I said, at the top of this, I've never seen this version of the op-ed piece. The version that I saw was the other one that I identified that was on the 18th. This is on the 19th. I believe the 18th.
2 years
quite
before.
possibly, was quite possibly, maybe that was the online version that came out first.
2 years before
there's a
either the
very
online or the
different-
print.
I'm sorry, I was just
No, I think
finish my
you
answer.
answered my question, sir. Thank you.
Oh.
2 years before the online and the print version came out. In 2016, Amber obtained a domestic violence restraining order against you from the
That's going to
California
get
court,
under this
correct?
guy's skin if he plays cards
Yes.
right.
And in obtaining that domestic violence restraining order in May 2016, she accused you of domestic abuse, right?
Yes, sir.
And Michelle, if you could blow up the third paragraph down, please. And in the opinion piece that's before you, published in the Washington Post, she wrote, "Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse." Correct?
I can't say correct. She wrote it.
And the
Or
piece
somebody.
doesn't contain your name, correct?
No, there's not. No.
And other than mentioning the fact of abuse accusations that were made 2 years prior to the publication of this article, The opinion piece doesn't contain any details of your time together, correct?
That's what she thinks she's going to get off
I
on?
think that her, I think it's very easy to write a piece and put the finger on someone without saying their name. There are sneaky ways of.
He's a
writing.
fucking actor. He knows how these things work, guys. Like, come on.
Seen also what the ACLU and their team had to say. They clearly described to Ms. Hurst that
I'll move to strike this as hearsay, Your Honor. And I appreciate.
They gotta
besides evidence.
They're gonna have
Whoa.
to get those into evidence at some point.
They will.
Mr. Depp, I appreciate you've gotten a lot of chance to talk and trying to be respectful of the court's time and the jury's time. So I'm going to ask you that question again because I think it's a pretty simple.
Because that's respectful of people's time.
Nothing simple.
Other than mentioning the fact
Mr. Rottenborn is.
these accusations made
I
2
think
years
Johnny
prior,
Depp hates this
this
man.
opinion piece does not contain any details of your time together. Yes or no?
It contains
Thank
All
you,
of the
John.
details.
Don't
It
accept
contains-
his framing.
this piece here. I don't know
Oh my God.
word for word with the other piece.
And the article discusses proposed legislation, which you just talked about, correct? You agree with that, right?
Yes.
And it discusses Amber's experience.
That was the shortest answer he's
after
given.
she had separated from you. You agree with that, right?
2 years ago, I became the public face for domestic violence.
Oh, no, I know.
2018, 2016. It seemed to me that the puzzle was going to work, no matter your angle.
So
Yeah. Whoa.
I'll take that response as a no, that this piece does not discuss this piece does not discuss anything prior to Ms. Heard's separation
Section
from you.
relevance.
It only discusses her
Court's opinion doesn't
experiences,
mean shit.
biographical experiences after she separated from you. Correct?
I can't say that.
Now, you're claiming that due to Amber's allegations of abuse, you can't be in Pirates 6. Correct?
I'm saying that after everything had basically hit its media targets and the hit pieces kept coming, it would be, I would be a real simpleton to not think that there was an effect on my career based on Ms. Heard's words, whether they mention my name or not.
You
Good
became
answer.
aware prior to the publication of this op-ed that you were likely out for Pirates 6, that Disney was considering dropping or dramatically shrinking the role, correct?
No.
Can you pull up Defense Exhibit 113, please?
Oh my God, Russell. I'll read some of those super chats in a second.
Let's go.
This is actually, I think Rottenborn's
Go to 114.
kind of scuzzy, but this is actually a really smart move.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Let's- the
He's
next
going to
one.
hit this hyper technical stuff as the last stuff of the day, so you can hit it quickly, and then they can start up fresh on
Sorry,
the,
one more. Let's
with
115.
some space on the on the other allegations tomorrow if they choose to. I think it's smart to hit the technical aspects of this right away for their strategy.
Yeah. I guess if you think there's a chance the jury might buy it, might as well put it up front.
Yeah, if that seems to be their strategy.
I
And
think
if
my
that's their
microphone
strategy,
or my
Drama.
freaking
This
thing
is
is
the way
going
to do
out.
it.
Let me see.
Do you see the
Russell,
date
holding
of
for
this
super
article?
chat. What do you think
beneath
she
those
had for
bullet
lunch?
points?
Fuck, I don't even want to
October
think about that,
24th,
Russell.
2000. See that?
Nasty.
And you see that the headline, Hide the Rum, Johnny Depp is out as Jack Sparrow in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean. I was asking if he became aware. I'm not offering the article.
Oh.
His
Oh,
awareness.
so when he offers it for the effect, it's okay.
Right. I'm asking his awareness that he was likely out.
Based on hearsay.
And she allowed it.
So, Mr.
They
Depp,
have to assert this.
were you aware that as of October 25th, 2018, about 2 months before this op-ed was published, that it was being reported, as it is in this article, that Johnny Depp is out as Jack Sparrow in Disney's Pirates
That's not
of
the
Caribbean
judge, guys.
film
That's
franchise
Depp's
as actor
attorneys.
battles financial issues and personal dramas. Were you aware of that?
I wasn't aware of that, but it doesn't surprise me given that 2 years had gone by of just constant worldwide talk about me being this wife beater.
Understood, but you,
I'm sure that Disney was trying to cut ties. To be safe, the Me Too movement was in full swing at that point.
right, and to the extent they were trying to cut ties to be safe, that was as long as 2 months before you wrote the op-ed.
Jackson House. Oh, that was.
Good question.
To the extent that Disney was trying to cut ties with you, as you say, to be safe, that was as much as 2 months prior to you publish or to Miss Heard publishing the op-ed in the Washington Post, correct?
I can't answer.
October is 2 months before December. That's correct. But it's odd that they were going to release me from my role as Captain Jack Sparrow, yet kept me on every ride across the world. In the Pirates of the Caribbean rides, and in Los Angeles, or the Hollywood one, or whatever it is, 3 or 4 times. Shanghai, I mean, all over the world. So they didn't remove my character from the rides. They didn't stop selling merchandise of Captain Jack Sparrow. They didn't stop selling dolls of Captain Jack Sparrow. They didn't stop selling anything. They just didn't want there to be something trailing behind me that they'd find.
And you aren't aware, you said Pirate 6 in your view is dangling. You're not aware if or when Pirate 6 would be made, correct?
No,
And the fact
Did I not already get to
Mr. Depp,
6?
if
That's
Disney
crazy.
came to you with $300 million and 1 million alpacas,
Million alpacas.
nothing on this earth would get you to go back and work with Disney on a Pirates of the Caribbean film.
that is true, Mr. Rottenborn.
And you couldn't
I like how he's
identify
saying like
a
his
single
name
movie
the way that
that you did between the divorce
freaking
and the
Hugo
op-ed.
Weaving would say Mr.
Response to Ms.
Anderson.
Meyer's question just now. You said there was a small tour of your band between that, but you couldn't identify a single movie that you did in the year or two prior to the op-ed, correct?
I have to tell you that when I'm working on a film, I do my work, and when I'm wrapped on that film, I've done my work, and I move on to the next. So I haven't seen the majority of my films. I've seen a few only if I had to. But, so it doesn't come right away to my head. Films are not the first thing that I think about.
You spent a long time talking about the impact of the abuse allegations made in Ms. Heard's obtaining the temporary restraining order or the domestic violence restraining order in May 2016, right? And you testified that you wanted to fight it, right? But the fact is, you never fought the allegations in court in 2016. It was only after Ms. Heard published this op-ed in 2018 that you fought them. You never tried to fight them in 2016, did you?
I was advised by my attorneys not to fight.
In fact, you signed not only that we read a statement, but let's pull up. Let's pull up. DX 1458, please.
See, Rottenborn has to be careful here because he can't object to the answers to his
Mr.
own
Depp,
questions.
you see that this
Yeah.
this says marriage of death.
So that hearsay
Correct.
objection
I see that.
happened
It's a
earlier.
legal document. Can
Probably
you
won't
scroll to
happen
the
now.
signature page, Michelle, please? This was a document that you signed as part of your divorce proceedings, correct?
That's my signature indeed, yeah.
Your Honor, move for admission of this document.
Any objection? No objection, Your Honor. All right. 1458.
May we publish, please? Mr. Depp, that is your signature on the right, correct?
Yes, it is.
Dated August 15th, 2016, right?
That's what it says, yes.
And this is you were this is a document you signed, right?
For the third time, that is my signature, yes.
Go to paragraph 27.
Since he's respecting the jury's time so much.
Mm-hmm.
Paragraph?
27.
Okay.
And this paragraph is a joint statement that both sides agreed to release. And if you look in the block quote there, it contains the quote, or it contains the statement, neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. Did I read that right?
You did, Mr.
Take
Rottenborn.
that down, Michelle. And that was a document you signed. in
See if I can
August.
turn down the light. No, I don't want to do
Is
that.
that the same one that I signed 3 times before? Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
Well,
fourth.
I wanted to make clear that you
You
signed
made it
that in
clear.
the summer of 2016, 2 years before Miss Heard published her op-ed. I don't have anything else for today. Your Honor.
Okay, well, okay, all right, we'll go ahead and take our
If
evening.
that's okay.
That works for me. I was gonna stop you at 5 o'clock anyway, so that's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll conclude our day-to-day. Again, don't do any outside research. Do not talk to anybody you'll see in the morning, okay? All right, have a good evening.
There we go.
Yes, come on, Johnny. It wasn't for financial gain. It's because she's a narcissistic harpy. It was the only way to make it in.
See, she didn't need financial gain. She wanted to cause me pain. She wanted
Yeah.
to keep causing me loss. She wanted to smear me. She wanted clout. She wanted recognition. That's what she needed.
She was afraid her own
Again,
dirty
see if
laundry was
that's
going to
where
come
you
out.
those that you're still testifying and to include your attorneys, okay? We'll see you in the morning, okay? 10 o'clock? Good. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You know, I got to say, I love the hours this judge keeps, though. 10
Yeah.
to 5. That's not. That's nice. You get to stroll in the morning. You don't have to be rushing, all tired.
The criminal trial, you're there at 8:15, to argue all the stuff that came up the day before.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's pull this down. So, I want to say I feel vindicated so far. I think that they are going. I said that they would be going hard on Johnny Depp. That he is. They can't go soft on him because he's an abuser. He's a bad man. He's horrible. He was bad to this poor lady, and now he's trying to punish her with a lawsuit after being such a bad abuser. So Rottenborn is certainly not taking the posture of pulling punches. And they're focusing on the hyper-technical aspects of defamation, which, as you, I think, very aptly put it, they better hope the jury's on board with that.
Yeah, I don't know your experience. I have, I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I have to try to sell technical defenses to juries all the time. And I think, frankly, it's one of those things that attorneys often overestimate the jury's appetite for that kind of thought process. They go by impulse. They go by I don't want to say impulse. They go by feeling and just overall desire. And it's almost like the legal reasoning is just the after the fact justification.
Yeah, and in criminal defense, I would say it's even a little different because those technical aspects come with the presumption of innocence. The court is, stresses the constitutional rights of the parties at stake. It's the person versus the government, and if the government has all the power, and so those technical mistakes are mistakes that prejudice someone and remove their ability to properly defend themselves. And you get all that baggage baked in. Here, you want to look at what Rottenborn's argument is. Well, you're not suing for all the lies she said before this thing was published.
Right.
It's just this one. It's just this thing that's published that you're suing. Because you can't sue over those other things, because those lies get to stand, because you can't sue over those. It's just this stuff. And this isn't a lie. And that's what they're going to have to do on close for Depp.
That would work fine if this op-ed was in a vacuum, but it's
Right.
obviously not in a vacuum. It's just the tiniest drop at the end of this massive flow of accusation that's come from her for years.
What a fucking
Yeah,
bitch.
that's going to be the big task on close for Depp's team. They need to link all of that stuff into this article and say, this article was the hammer that delivered the nails, or whatever. I don't know what analogy they want to use. Or this is the shotgun that fired all of the lies that had been building up. This is the catalyst. And it was this moment that they really went after him, this moment that he was shut down, this moment that everything finally collapsed, because she put it in the Washington Post, and she knew she would do it that way. And that was the point, was to elevate herself while tearing him down. And we've got all of the emails between, the ACLU and Heard's lawyers and all that crap that's going to come into evidence later. We've got all that to support the fact that she knew exactly what she was doing here.
Hot in
That
here
she
now.
intended to do it, but trying to tailor it to not, trying to weasel her way out of the consequences of her actions. And I hope they got the right jury for it. That's the main thing. I hope they got the right jury.
That's going to be the key. I mean, bottom line.
Yeah. Well, I have a bunch of super chats to read. Do you have anything you want to, any observations from the day, or anything you want to talk about before I delve into those?
Oh gosh, there's so much background to all this stuff that we're not having time to get into in the trial, and so I don't. It's hard for me to listen to some of the things where I feel like there are gaps, but I understand you can only, do so much. But it's killing me, the issue with the meeting with his accountants and the loss of the money, because there's such a bigger story there with his financial, his business managers and his attorneys for like 20 years had been bleeding him dry with all of these various conflicted financially transactions and other types of shenanigans. He ended up involved in litigation with them. The SEC ended up investigating this business manager. The amount of the settlement he eventually got is not specifically public, but it has been represented to be an 8-figure settlement.
Oh, Jesus.
So this is not, the picture that got painted of, Johnny Depp, just likes to buy a lot of wine and houses in France and stuff like that. He was being actively defrauded by the people who were supposed to be in charge of managing his career.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is when this stuff happens to him, and we got a little bit of this today, but you always want more. Is all this stuff happens to him, and somehow Amber Heard makes it about her. Right? How dare you find out you've been defrauded by everybody on my birthday?
Yeah.
How dare that happen? How dare you find out that you can't sustain the lifestyle that you sustained for me on my birthday?
And it just makes you feel for him. I mean, imagine what it must be like to not be able to feel anything, not be able to say anything. And I do. I feel like it's so powerful. And finally, we got to hear the videos, the audios. And the audios have been, a critical piece of this case for a long time. I mean, the audios are what was responsible for one of Amber's witnesses, Amanda de Cadenet, very publicly withdrawing support for Amber once she heard them. And you know, it's just, how does that kind of thing not have an impact? It's that's it. That is the res geste of this entire case. So I'm very glad you were able to get that out finally.
Yep, that was very good. Mike Brogan in the chat says, are we not going to get into the drafting of the article and at the very least suggestive evidence that they were trying to use weasel words to avoid overt defamation? We will, but Johnny can't testify to that knowledge. I'm not sure how they get it in. I'm not sure what their plan to get it in is, but certainly they're going to be looking to introduce that as much as possible. I am kind of curious how they're going to get that in now. Any ideas?
I don't know if they can get it in as substantive evidence, possibly business records exception. So that's one possibility. Certainly they can get it in for impeachment if
they can get it in.
Heard, you know, denies that it was ever about Johnny Depp. Those are the ones that kind of come to my mind. Maybe an argument could be made that it's not offered for the truth. It's offered to show her state of mind in the sense that she knew she was talking about Johnny Depp and intending to make that connection. Just some ideas.
They'll have to. That is interesting. They could offer it for impeachment purposes. I'm curious how they're going to approach it, because they got those. They got that information in discovery, but they have to have someone to attest to the authenticity of it. With knowledge of that event to do so, to introduce it on their side. And it doesn't seem like they would have anyone unless they have some surprise turncoat witness. But
I don't know if they have a live witness, but I do believe they have a certificate from a records custodian. I don't know what the practice is going to be in this particular court. There's not a Fifth Amendment confrontation issue, which is what I would expect. As a criminal defense lawyer, you always have to have the live person in. Sometimes there's more leeway with civil, though. So I don't know if the certificate might be enough to authenticate that and establish it as a business record.
That'll be it'll be interesting, that's for sure. And I'm looking forward to it. Of course, they have to get the housekeeper in there to testify about the pooping incident. You said there's going to be someone to counter Amber Heard's sister about that punching incident.
Yes. Yes, Jennifer Howell. She is the executive director of a charity called the Art of Elysium, and Whitney Heard had previously worked for Jennifer Howell during this time period, and so she ended up getting kicked out of the penthouses after this staircase incident. She ended up staying with Jennifer Howell. And apparently during that time period, told Jennifer Howell a lot of things about not only that staircase incident, or abuse by Amber, prior history between them and in the family and stuff like so. Based on what we've seen Whitney testify to already in the United Kingdom, Jennifer Howell can contradict all of that with Whitney's own words.
So, and that would be able to be introduced through impeachment.
Yes,
which normally you would not be able to introduce Whitney's words through someone else. But if she makes an inconsistent statement, that person can say, actually, let me tell you what really happened, because she told me what really happened. And this happened, before she had more of an interest in this and closer to the time and all of that good stuff. So that'll be phenomenal. This is, I'm actually surprised they got through Johnny's direct in a day, in just a little over a day. I did think he was going to be up there for at least part of tomorrow. So
I did too, but it didn't seem like they were inefficient with the time or with the story. Right. There was nothing in the time frame that seemed like a big piece that got left out of the story. So good on them. Yeah,
that is good. We'll see how the defense goes. I mean, if I'm the defense, I want to keep him up there for a while and hammer on him. But maybe they. I feel like they have to address all of the abuse that he talked about and try and poke some holes in the stories. But at the same time, if they can't, then they might not have very long cross-examination.
Yeah.
They might just try and focus on, show show us where at all did this damage occur? Like how can you link this damage to this article?
Yeah, well, and I think that's where the impeachment of Johnny is going to focus on the drug and alcohol stuff, and you know that stage has been set for a long time. We kind of know already from what's on the witness list and the exhibit list and stuff like that what types of things are coming. The defense is likely, you would think that in a case like this, Amber Heard would be the star witness, but I don't think that's actually going to be the case. The star witness is going to be Jody Gottlieb, or not Jody Gottlieb, I'm sorry, Tracy Jacobs. Tracy Jacobs was Johnny Depp's agent since basically during 21 Jump Street up until this 2016 period. She was very close with Mandel and Bloom and that whole scene that he ended up suing over. So Tracy was one of the people who got lost at that time, and she didn't necessarily take that all that well. Didn't have a whole lot of nice things to say about Johnny and about the type of public image he had, the reputation in the community, and stuff like that. So her deposition is out there in the public record. Some unflattering things, and I think they're going to be trying to focus on that, one, to get under his skin and try to get him to get angry and do something that will blow his credibility and the goodwill that he's built for the jury so far. But also just because that's what they have is if you can't win on the allegations, then you have to win on the damage, and just try to paint it as this was a self-destructive thing that he did to his own career.
Yeah, I agree, and I think there doesn't seem to be a way for them to actually win on the allegations, because the best thing they can do for 99% of them is to just put Amber Heard on the stand and have her offer her version of the story. And that's a gamble, because objectively he's more likable than her. That's just shown in there.
You haven't even seen.
Oh,
you haven't even seen.
I've seen some of her interviews, and I'm like, okay, you are not relatable, you are not likable, you're not followable. You seem bitchy, all of that just was, and that was just short clips of her interview. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll have to see. Well, I'm going to start reading these. You are welcome to stay and help me address any of them, or if you have to go at any time, feel free. Either way works for me. Charlie Whiskey. Question for the panel. Oh, God. Given that God is infinite and the universe is also infinite, should Futa have balls? Yes, they
Is
should.
this where I say unbreaded?
Yep. Yeah, do that. It's better than answering the question. Cam and Weeb says Dick Masterson is unironically endorsing false DMCA flagging as protected speech on behalf of the gun. Thoughts? I have not read all of his tweets about it. From what I saw, which were some of the early tweets, it looked less like an endorsement and more like an explanation. But people are going to read what they want to read into it, and we'll see how it goes. I, of course, am opposed to using the DMCA for improper purposes, unlike some people who are in that sphere right now. Karen Took the Kid says, Nick, from a logistics point of view, how does a jury sift through 6 weeks of evidence for a decision without filtering and mental fatigue? Is there some evidence refinement process for cases as long as this? God bless. How do they do it without filtering and mental fatigue? They don't. Juries are people, and they're a broken organism. Just like you or I, they get tired. They pay attention to some things. They zone out at times. They will
I'd be the
misremember
worst. I would
things.
zone
They
out.
will focus in on things that shouldn't matter. All of that stuff is built into the system, and that's why there's 12 of them. And so they're going to go in the back after all of this and then argue about it. Now, the interesting thing is they won't have transcripts of the 6 weeks of testimony, because if they did, it would be a stack of papers that they'd never get through and it'd be pointless. So they just have to go off of their impressions. How does this feel? And I think that's going to play in Johnny's favor personally. But yeah, is there evidence refinement process for cases as long as this? No, not really. Any of the paper exhibits or video exhibits or picture exhibits will be in some way available to the jury. Different courts have those availabilities a little bit different, but in some way they'll be able to review any of those items that they want at least one time, and then they'll deliberate and they can ask questions of the judge and they make their decision at that point. That's how the system works. Joy Mace, follow up to my ex who broke my finger twice. Women like Amber made it hard for me to be believed. 6-year court battle was for custody and no contact. He started abusing kids after divorce. No one believed us. He broke in 2020. Damn. Sorry to hear that, Joy. Glad you're out of that situation, though, and it sounds like it's good that the kids are out of there, too. Jackson Kai says, I think Amber's lawyers are legally strong to hit these technical things, but from a layman, they look like an extension of Amber's abuse, making him sign off in explicit terms that her abuse is okay. The jury won't like that. That's a pretty clean take. I like it. And it's very probable that it will backfire on them. Mephisto's movie review says, slap on some Amica cream. Time to hit Provigil and stay awake while Johnny Depp puts us to sleep, talking about the actor's studio. Elsa says, I can understand Johnny's plight. My father's girlfriend isn't as physically abusive as Amber Heard is supposed to be, but she uses the same emotional tactics to prevent my dad from visiting his grandkids. I know a couple women like this where people have remarried and the husband's family gets the low priority. And by low priority, I mean basically none. It's really frustrating to see that happen. Jay Winkler says, if Andrea was a Fuda, would she have balls or no balls, and how much would she be packing? Oh my God. You guys are terrible. Ignore my chat, please. Or kill them, one of the two. Jelly Myth.
Greek to me.
What was that?
I said it's fine. It's Greek to me, and that
That's
is not
good.
an answer of like Greek balls or anything like that.
Well, those are made out of lamb, so it's fine. Jellyman says, I remember the judge on either the first or the second day saying someone was keeping track of the time both sides take up. The time the defense takes on Depp's cross might well eat into the time they have to make their own case. Yeah, if they drag out cross for a long time, plaintiffs can't be blamed for that.
Well, the thing that's going to happen if they do blow their time, what's going to get cut is their rebuttal case. And in reality, that may not be a bad thing because there is so much impeachment of Amber Heard that is only going to come out in Johnny Depp's rebuttal case. And so, how is she even going to answer a lot of that? It frankly gives her a very good opportunity to suggest that, she's victimized again because of not being given time, to give a full answer, when the reality is, of course, she just blew it on this worthless cross exam that wasted everyone's time.
Yeah, definitely could happen. Let's see. Next, Ash Ray says, need some knockout yum-yums. Dragon's Treasure says, oh no, that mean legal bites definitely said that Rekieta's nose is a prosthetic and he couldn't sniff out a good deal if he tried. Prove her wrong. Use code, use Amber Poops in Beds at thedragonstreasure.com and crush her. There you go. Buy some tea, y'all, and use the promo code Amber Poops in Beds. Yoshimi's Corner says, someone mentioned if Johnny's Twitter is the same as his text. He wasn't and hasn't been allowed to have a Twitter account for the past 3 to 4 years, sadly. I guess not allowed by his legal team. Is that it?
No, actually, before Adam Waldman got booted off of Twitter, he had been making a little bit of a stink of how he had been trying to get approval for Johnny Depp to get a blue check Twitter account. And that approval, was never forthcoming. And so, yeah, Twitter doesn't want Johnny Depp blue checked on Twitter.
Well, I mean, how is Johnny Depp really meet the requirements of a blue check mark? I mean, when you really get down to it,
I mean,
it's only for very important journalists with 2,100 followers who've written one article on Game Radar. That's where you really got to get those blue. They only have a limited amount of them too. I mean, so they can't just be giving them out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry who walks in. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh, hey, what's up, Mr. Branca? Oh, yeah, you're muted. Oh, you need headphones. How you doing, man?
How's things going?
Wow, he's got a beard.
I understand that you have met Miss Burkhart before during the Trayvon Martin.
No, we
No,
never
not met.
I'm just over
Oh.
here fangirling because I've been following you since the George Zimmerman trial, which was fantastic. Loved your coverage. It was amazing.
You could just say I'm old, and then I'll be short.
Hey, I'm telling on myself here too, okay?
Well, that's very
I'm sorry.
kind of you. Thank you very much.
Everyone runs to Google now.
I'm sorry, I completely misheard what you said earlier. I was like, oh yeah, they know each other. That'll be fun. And then and I'm like, yeah, no, not
I was just
actually.
glued to his live feed for weeks.
It's funny. I was packing for a trip today, and it's a trip where I'll be doing some shooting. So I was going through my gun bags, and I was like, oh, I'll bring this one. And it says, IDPA Nationals 2004. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god.
It happens to all of us.
When you're so old that your gun has a pension, that's pretty bad.
That's crazy. 18 years ago was it?
2004 was 18 years ago?
We're going through the chats here.
Oh my god, that's
Depp
crazy.
just wrapped up a little bit ago, and it was a pretty interesting day. His direct examination is done, and they just started cross for a few minutes, but it took about about 9 hours of direct examination for him, which I thought was kind of short. But yeah, so cross resumes tomorrow. They only did about 15 minutes today.
Oh, why even bother? Why start?
He didn't want to. He tried to get out of it, and the judge kind of made him.
Yeah, he made the mistake of saying, "Well, I could start today, Your Honor, if you want, or we could just start tomorrow." And she's like, "No, go ahead, start today." He should have just said, "No, I'd prefer it," because she gave him the option to just start tomorrow. You should have just taken it.
Yeah.
But Game Guy 151 says, so when a witness is on the stand, they aren't allowed to have any communication with anyone. How does that work? When you're the one bringing the case, can you not communicate with your lawyer? You cannot communicate with your lawyer about your testimony. So, you're really not supposed to talk to them about the testimony. The safe thing is to not talk about it, not talk to them at all, but there's probably going to be some, at least passing conversation of,
Yeah, you might get a little bit of this.
yeah, but you can't do it. You can't do it. You have to have lunch separately and all of that stuff. MS says, may I have a quick recap for yesterday? I missed it all. No, sorry. Ashley Harrison says, FYI, Amber auditioned for the Duchess, being Naomi, in The Wolf of Wall Street, and thankfully lost to Margot Robbie. GenoFest, will you be playing the phone call audio? Is that the audio that we heard earlier? Is that the phone call?
The phone call audio she's talking about is a phone call between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard right around the time of the TRO being filed. And it's a little bit repetitive of some of the stuff we've heard, where she is just basically gaslighting him about how it's the lawyers making her do it, and she never wanted to do it. But that's the one with the very famous tagline, if you will, where she says, tell them, Johnny, tell them I am a domestic violence victim, and see how many people believe you or side with you.
That one, yeah.
Yes, so, which of course he is doing as we speak.
Oh, that's good. I hope they get that in. Well, but they didn't get it in on direct with him, so they'd only be able to get it in through her at this point.
I had a hard time telling exactly what it was that they admitted when they did admit the audio exhibit. I'm going to go back and look in the Fairfax County website, once they have that up, because, obviously we heard just a tiny little segment of what there actually is there. There's such a massive volume of stuff.
Started at like 2 hours and 43 minutes for the clip.
Exactly. And so it does make me suspect that they just published very small portions, but what actually is going to go back to the jury room is a lot more.
Okay, yeah. And they also could, if they did admit that into evidence and it's part of it, they could bring that up during cross-examination of Amber if it's already admitted. So that's possible as well. Execution says, Branka, the only YouTube lawyer better than the nose. Hey, wait a minute. This is defamatory. Love you both, though, in my own way. # self-defense forever.
Hey, I meant to ask you off the.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not to change the subject.
Oh, go ahead.
Is Binger still prosecutor?
Here?
I'm not sure.
Here.
Because we were talking about delivering some books to him, and I was planning to go through Sturgis this. When was I going to go? The last weekend of June, I
Don't say
think.
July.
But anyway, if I go to Sturgis, I'm halfway to you.
Okay.
So if we were going to do a book delivery, I'd ship a case of books out to you, and then just write out to have that fun. But there's not much point if he's not there.
I'll see if I can suss it out. I'd heard rumors.
I mean, it would be great to see you, Nick, of course, but
right. I like seeing Unix all the time. No, I'll ask around and see if he's still prosecutor and what's going on with that, because I've heard some conflicting reports about it, and so I'll try and get it locked down. He's still listed as an ADA on the website last I checked, but sometimes governments don't update things.
Yeah, that's check the bar website. That's
Yeah,
what
well, and I have some contacts there in Kenosha who can maybe give me the answer too. Naughty86 says, I'm in Australia, so I watch when I can. Been lurking since Vic, but first super chat. Hey, thank you. Love you and Tug, but YouTube is messing with you again. His stream, top of my feed, yours way down the list. 3.3K viewers versus 15K. WTF, good on Tug, though. Yeah, one thing you'll find on my channel is a constant state of suppression and oppression, probably because I say lots of really, really steamy jokes at night. Simulation Gaming says, I may not agree with your political views, however, I love your commentary regarding legal matters. Hey, I probably don't agree with my political views, so it's cool. Matthew Phillips, I'm trying to share your stream on Canada's state propaganda YouTube channels, CBC, CTV News, Globalist News, but they have their comments and live chats turned off. Canada's taxpayer money at work, comrades. Wait, did you say Globalist News? Nimitz, you talk about struggles, and all I think about are snuggles. Chininator, I don't want to hear it, Rackets. I've worked 26 hours the last 2 days. You're weak sauce. I mean, I think I have too.
my hardest working person on the internet, as far as I can tell.
There you go. Mike B says, Nick, have you ever read Escape from Plum Island by Lorenzo de Tonti? Nope. The Ara Agronath. If he only had an English accent, he'd basically be Jon Snow. Yeah. I feel like Johnny Depp strays towards the English accent, but then pulls back. Like I think it's his Jack Sparrow character. Like he kind of gets into that area. Like it's so much a part of him now.
I think it's a lot of, because he was one of these people who was born in Appalachia, and he has shed the accent, as so many people do, and so he's had to kind of choose what sort of speech patterns to take on, and he has developed this very interesting mix. He's got a lot of Hunter S. Thompson in his speech, a massive amount. But he's also got these sort of almost French, European types of stylings, and then just this enunciation that I'm sure he's gotten from Hollywood. Very, very distinctive speech pattern.
Yeah, it's it is wildly interesting. It also makes him easier to listen to, because even if you didn't have his vocal affectations but still talked in this sort of labored way, I think it would make me want to die. So it's kind of neat. But just thinking about how much of Jack Sparrow is in him, I really now want them to do a Pirate 6 and cast someone else as Jack Sparrow. Like, I want that to happen. I think that would be great, because I think Disney would just get destroyed if they did it.
Look at how Fantastic Beasts is doing. I mean, that's all you need to see.
Yeah, it's not well. Nerbs, thank you for the donation. Dragon's Treasure says, my old best friend was in an abusive relationship like this. You can't understate the damage it can actually do. It can wreck you forever. Bone CK, he's got to lose some of the smirking. I think it humanizes him. I think he's okay, personally, but I'm not on the jury. Brock Jordan. I wonder if any domestic violence victims are on the jury. If so, this has to be triggering for them. If not, I wonder which party chose to strike that potential juror. I don't know. Andrew, are you familiar with any of the questions they had for the jury? Did they ask about domestic violence?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we got any of that information. So
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware of any, but you never know.
Was there no opponent and why he didn't just, say bye, just didn't walk away from this lunatic?
Kinda. Basically, he laid out his life story where his mother was extremely abusive to him throughout his entire childhood. His dad stayed for a very long time until Johnny was 15, also being abused. And then the dad eventually walked out, and Johnny seems to consider that in some way a moral failing of his dad. And he testified almost directly to why he didn't leave as a fear of failure. Fear of being a failure, a fear of failing the marriage, that sort of thing. So that was
he should have talked to me about that.
Oh my God, my freaking speakers.
Pingalo the Driving Ape says Christopher Lee was a true mad lad. Jossam says, so is this his real personality or is he just acting? Also, does she ever have any emotions? His testimony is brutal and rambling. I get the impression it's real. I don't know. It doesn't seem fake to me. I know some people have said he's actor. They'll like say acting in the chat. I don't know. I feel like if it was acting, it'd be a little more polished. But
it would be much more scripted, and it would be much more just delivered in a Hollywood type of way. He would not be stumbling and stuttering and having these long pauses trying to find words.
Yeah, I agree. Alex Iao says, I don't believe Biden has a speech impediment, but I would believe someone if they told me Depp does. Depp equals king of tangents. I love him. I think he's definitely got a stutter that he's probably worked on quite a bit in his life. It comes through when he talks about being abused, shockingly. Jim Horman says, get sober, nose man, wink, wink. No, thank you. Nick Afifi says, abstinence only may be the widely accepted model, but it's not the only option for people struggling with substance abuse. That idea keeps a lot of people from seeking help. Joe Cooley, as a man with plenty dumb tattoos, I agree it's weird when people get upset when you joke about their tattoos. Josh Vermillion, do these trials work like criminal where the prosecution will get rebuttal after defense goes? If so, they should end with Isaac back up there, lol. They released Isaac from, they released him from his witness duties, unfortunately. So, or wait, no, they did not.
No, they
did not release Isaac.
I don't think they did release Isaac.
Yeah, so they may call him back up for rebuttal. That is still a possibility. Carolyn Ann says, I used to have an opiate problem. Couldn't sleep through the night without going through withdrawals. It was like living in a prison. Those drugs took complete hold of your life, and you're at their mercy. The Buzz CJC, enjoy the Zanny berries, Joe. Sweet. Fauci lied, puppies died. Says, I want to wrap Johnny in swaddling. Alberto Bonsanto says, I think Depp should get at least $50 million. He lost many contracts. Off topic, his legal mindset in Korea. Yes, he is. He lives and works in Korea. I don't think they're going to do a $50 million. If he wins, I don't think he's going to get a $50 million judgment. It would be record setting. I don't think that they're going to want to do that. I think that's my opinion. I think he deserves it.
That kind of money?
No. I mean, I can't imagine she does. She doesn't have that many roles. And I just
she's got whatever the $7 million has grown into since she didn't donate it.
Yeah. Did she have to return that $7 million?
No. She's just kept it.
That's nice. Yeah. So Andrew,
it's inflating away at 8%, just like the rest.
Exactly. We had a couple like 25% years over this time frame, right? 2016 was a good year for the stock market. No, 2017 was the great year for the stock market.
So their divorce settlement, Andrew, she demanded $7 million that she was going to donate to the ACLU and some other.
Los Angeles.
Right. She donated $0 of it.
Well, of course. I mean, she just could have the demand could have been that Johnny has to donate the money, right, in her name.
Well, so Johnny did try to donate the money.
Of course, she got pissed.
Yes.
Those dollars have to go through mine.
On the donating.
So terrible. 860 saying God says what Amber Heard has is called resting bitch face. Jamie Anthony, okay, why can't he talk to his lawyers on break? Because he is testifying. You can't do that. Because they could give him advice on testimony. We're going to ask you some questions in just a little bit about this, and we really want you to answer in this way. So you're not allowed to do that. TJ Ventura says, Dr. Husel not guilty on all 14 counts. Huge verdict. Yes, very huge verdict. And I think the correct one, and also as I stated earlier, I think if you got some money and you're charged with murder, hire Jose Baez. Dude's a friggin' champion. G says, will Amber victimize herself more than Jack? Steve, it must be killing Ms. Heard that she can't interrupt and shout Mr. Depp down because this is supposed to be all about her. Winton Dupree, never let someone who hates you administer your detox meds. Nilla Moon, she withheld the meds because she's an evil, abusive woman. She wanted to abuse him in any way possible. And Winston Dupree says, yo ho ho, a pirate's life for me. Jinzo Crash, wish song is Charlie Shillings, no communication. MD says, Long Crime has a similar poll with the same ratio for Johnny Depp. Unexpected. Oh, you got to understand, the people watching Johnny Depp on Long Crime are not Long Crime watchers. They're Johnny Depp watchers. They're, Law and Crime covering trials normally is getting, maybe a couple thousand people watching. They're getting 150,000 because they got pushed to the top of the algorithm on this one. I have no idea how they would manage that, but and it definitely doesn't have to do with the multi-channel network manager for Abrams Media negotiating that out with YouTube. I swear it didn't happen.
No, some of these trials, I get more viewers than Law and Crime, and I'm nobody.
Completely organic that they're at the top of literally every search results that has Johnny Depp and Amber Heard in it, and usually it's 2 to 3 videos of just them. G says, will the courtroom be participating in 420? They should have. And he also said, did Joe establish driving rules in his prenup? Michael Thurchin, legal mindset, Ricada law, is a prenup always void if you commit adultery, or does it depend on the wording of the document? It depends on the wording of the document. Prenups are not, I guess you could put in a provision that would void it or for adultery, but I can't see why adultery would void a prenup by its own.
You wouldn't do that. You would do it the other way. You would make it so that the adultery makes it more enforceable or something. Yeah.
Cynthia says, one, Wild Winona, 4 years with him, or Vanessa, 15 years, would Winona or Vanessa be able to testify? Both had statements not admitted in the British trial defending him. Any chance either side has mock juries giving feedback? I think there's a big chance they have mock juries giving feedback. Both sides have a decent amount of money.
Crazy not to. They got the money to do it.
But as for the would Winona or Vanessa be able to testify? I don't know if they're listed on their witness list.
I don't believe they did get listed. No, they did leave an open-ended, category for rebuttal witnesses, which I think is fairly normal. So I don't know that the door is entirely closed. The problem is just that all they can give is pure character evidence, and they're having to be selective at this point about what they put forward. I just don't know that's going to make the cut as a priority.
Right.
Yeah, it's like negative character evidence, right? I mean, instead of being negative, it's positive character evidence, but it's not really relevant to whether he abused Amber.
Yes. Well, and technically,
in a lot of people's minds, it will be. That's the thing. That's the part that's hard.
Yeah. Jay the Gamma Ray says, Nick, maybe get a psychologist on your panel. People often recreated a family in place of dysfunctional family of origin, etc. Quite normal. For him filling up his penthouses with all of Amber's family. Jim McCobb says, Johnny Depp looked up from his severed hand and said, no, not the vodka. Senzu Bean says, it's just a tip, Johnny. Just use some of my Amica cream. William Board, Depp doped up with anti-anxiety meds and speech slowed. I think they would be encouraging him to not be on any substances for his testimony. You wouldn't want that to pop up, that he's on some sort of medication that might impair his ability to answer truthfully or clearly or understand questions. So testify sober, y'all. Jasonian says, do orphanages engage in human trafficking? Some do, probably. But there aren't really many orphanages around the United States anymore, so who knows? Alberto Bonsanto says pure evil. Catherine H says Miss Turd is crazy. STFU says JD described AH during detox reminds me of the drama triangle of codependency, where the codependent fluctuates from rescuer to predator to victim in their own mind as they torture the target. The dude says, amazing Johnny Depp didn't secret window her in a cornfield.
Oh my God, that was kind of, that's the beauty of these audio tapes, honestly, and I think, and then the whole finger incident, you know, the great drama moments today, is that you have to wonder if it's going to leave the jury with the effect of, so fucking what if he did smack her, you know, like, could she have done more to ask for it? Like, this is a woman, you know, who
Yeah, I was talking about that, I think yesterday, in because people are like, well, if he slapped her once, then it's over. And I'm like, you know, I don't know though, because the question isn't whether he struck her. The question is whether or not he abused her. And if the jury determines that the relationship was just mutually tumultuous and involves some conflict, then that's not necessarily abuse. And it'd be hard for her to say that one slap to her face is abusive while she's punched him several times right in the face. So,
a cigarette on his cheek.
Yeah.
Is there a definition here of abuse, or is it just rather subjective and arbitrary?
It's, since this is defamation, it's technically subjective, right? Because it's
the jury. It's what the jury thinks abuse is.
Yeah.
Well, one of the ironies here is if you made a movie out of this, you'd want Johnny Depp to play Johnny Depp, but you'd want somebody else to play Amber Heard.
Get Margot Robbie to play Amber Heard. Let's see. Says the Pirates of the Caribbean video editor should sue Amber for causing them to have to spend 100,000 hours CGIing his finger on for emotional distress. Yeah, no kidding. Georgia at the Lake. Lizzie Borden is believed to have been under bad PMS. Will this be Amber's claim? Her rages may have a rhythm that could be proven. I don't know if they're going to try that angle. I don't think so. Chatmort says it's how dysfunctional families become a tragic cycle. People have no idea they're doing it. Conass says if you wanted to get rid of her, he should have just gotten advice from Christopher Walken and Robert Wagner on how they got rid of Natalie Wood.
No.
Or he could have asked Kevin Spacey, right? Like, oh, Kevin, I got these accusers. I'll live my life as a gay man. How does she disappear?
Spacey buried an entire career in the desert.
Along with a couple bodies. Casey Moody says, go to Law and Crime, chicken. I don't want to go to Law and Crime. Thank you. Chatmort says, just wear Falcon gloves and you'll be fine. Peter de Armas says, how come defense didn't object as to narrative? They didn't cut off Depp when they totally could have. Everyone was enthralled by his story. I think they were worried about objecting early, especially during his personal life, his abuse as a child. Because what, you're going to object to that? You're gonna cut this guy off from talking about how horrific his childhood was? I don't know.
I have to say, in my opinion, not objecting to the narrative may be one of the biggest strategic misfires of this entire trial, and possibly that I have maybe even ever seen. By allowing him to get in his rhythm, get in the flow, and get into that authentic, you know, relating of his story his way, it's just captivating. You know, it's riveting. You can't take your eyes off of that. And all they could have so easily broken that up, forced him to follow this script of, you know, specific response to the specific question, and prevented him from being able to have those moments. I'm sorry that of the many skills that Johnny Depp has, focus is not one of them. That wasn't going to be his strong suit, to have to come up with, you know, exactly the right answer that he wanted on impulse. So to me, that is just a major ball drop by their team. I'm honestly shocked that they did it.
Yeah, you know, that's a compelling point that you bring up. I hadn't really thought of it that way. I was more thinking of it as not wanting to attack the sympathetic witness at the time when he's just starting out. But yeah, that could be a big problem for him.
You have to get him off his rhythm. When he is in the zone like that, you cannot have that. You have to regain control, and you just never did.
Matt H says the cycle of abuse erodes your sense of reality and self-worth with each turn of the wheel. You get wrapped up in bed or flies. Twilight Dragon 3 says my buddy's ex was like Amber, controlling the
So freaking loud.
for name is Amber, and he also had another ex named Amber. I see a pattern that he should break. Caleb McNevin says, I got out of an abusive marriage about 1.5 years ago. Crazy how you convince yourself everything is normal. I still deal with self-worth daily. Shroom Dukem says, Crybaby was okay.
John Waters. How do you not love John Waters? I'm sorry.
Evie Warner says, she looked like she might cry. Will cry on stand without a doubt. Just so painful. I'm so traumatized for life. C. Neal says, hey, let's start a movement. Use all the proof of all the watchers on YouTube to get state and U.S. reps to pass the Open Courts Act. Cameras in all courts all the time. Public should be public.
I think so
Captain
too.
says, Andrea is the female version of Nick. Infinite fun. 200 Watt Studio says, Quint, question mark. You know the thing about a shark. He's got lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, it doesn't seem to be living until he bites you and the black eyes roll over white. There you go. Rooster Cogburn says, hi, Nick. Balls or no balls? The chat must know. You know my answer. It's balls. Let's see. Tor Theo, when my dog dies, I'm going to cry. If any girl thinks she's going to judge me for that, that's a straight road to Singlesville for her. Well, the point was it's also a straight road to Singlesville for you. Tor Theo says, Synapse says, Herd can't smile at those fond times because to her, they never were that. Socratic Method, where Degens and Proud, ask her the question, please. Tiger Stripes says, have you noted how prior to today and yesterday, Amber's been dressed exactly like Johnny's previous courtroom outfits? Deeply crazy. I mean, look, I think the internet might have been making something more out of that than it was, but you know, I'm just me. David Bowser. Yesterday, it looked to me that Amber Heard was trying to hold back tears when Johnny Depp was talking about how they met. I almost saw a look of regret on her face. I disagree. I didn't see that at all. Personally. Yashimi's Corner. Now I'm starting to think that Amber is making that face to appear like she's about to cry and appear sorrowful for the jury. What do you think? I don't know. I think maybe one of her cheek fills just sank down to lower in her face. And
I
Deborah,
think the Xanax is really what's running this trial.
Deborah Breeden says, in Florida, every cognizant adult is mandated to report known events of abuse of vulnerable people. Glad for men living like this being
All right.
Me Too BS. I have to imagine that's unenforceable. David Bowser says, Johnny Depp's description of withdrawal is all too real and made me remember my own horror stories of my own detox off of opiates. There's no faking his story. Alberto Bonsanto, the audio is amazing. It makes her look insane. Yeah, that was the audio clips. They were great. Ryan Bibbs says, currently sitting in a medical center getting an IV infusion of antibodies for the coup. I'll be here for 90 minutes. Great opportunity to listen.
What do you guys think? You like it?
Socratic Method, I think the biggest takeaway from this trial is that celebrities are effed up. That is all.
What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Is it good? Yay, nay?
Cloned Steve, Dream Killers. What the fuck are minerals?
Let me know. I'll try reading these comments.
Effectively pink thinner.
All right. Does Nick want me to explain to him what mineral spirits are? Whose eye? This is Rasmane's eye. So let me show you guys.
Her testimony here is just as bad of an acting job as it was at her deposition. They'll need to reinstate masks to cover up everyone laughing.
So let me show you guys this. So like I said in the beginning of this stream, so this gentleman, he had sent me an eye picture previously and he had a really hard time like getting the picture. And I explained to everyone, like, here's my chart. Let me just mute Nick and all of them. So here's my chart on, for like how to volunteer for the eye project, right? And he volunteered relatively early, so I don't even know if this chart had been made at that time. But so it says right on here, How does it say on there? Yeah, it says right underneath the photo examples, the clearer says / higher resolution the photo, the better the painting will be. And so if you send in like kind of a blurry photo with really blown out lighting or, bad lighting, I don't know any of my volunteers in person, so I have no way to, judge if it looks like you or not, or if what I'm looking at in the photo is, completely accurate. So the first photo that he sent me, it was, very blurry, very blown out. I couldn't see like very much of his features. Obviously, after seeing this newer photo, like I could actually see like his skin color and whatnot, which is, a little bit darker. And it's funny. It's got kind of like, I wouldn't say hazel, but it's very warm, right? In certain areas. And then there's like actually like some oranges, like the way that's what happens when you have like, warmer skin tones. But so I was able to actually see what his, what his skin looked like and the features around his eye. So, what's this? Oh, are these out of order? Dang it. Okay, sorry, I'm editing this. I filmed time lapses of these. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm editing it so I can upload it onto my Instagram. Okay. But the point I was trying to make is that the first photo, I couldn't see anything really. And it didn't really, I guess, look like him based on the photo reference that I got later on. And so, what am I doing? I'm doing something. Okay, there we go. That's where it was. Sorry, I'm missing a piece of my eye painting thing. This one looks more photoreal. Well, I can get more photorealistic the better the photo is that's sent to me. So if you send like a super high resolution photo where I can see your pores, well, I'll be able to see that and I'll be able to paint it. Whereas if you send me a very, blurry photo that's kind of blown out and whatnot, well, I can't see any of the features, so I'm not going to be able to paint it as well. And so that's something to think about. And I'm actually glad that I have this as an example because you guys are able to see. Now let me grab his old eye photo so I can show you guys. Are you guys ready to see the difference? So this is the photo, or this is the eye painting now. This was the last eye painting. So look at the difference, guys. And this honestly all has to do with, let me see, this is wet. Look at the difference. And that all has to do with the quality of the photo I was sent. So what do you guys think? Do you like the old one or do you like the new one? Put 1 in the chat for the old painting and a 2 in the chat for the new one. So yeah, let me know what you think. So I'm not kidding when I say the photo that you guys send me makes a really big difference. Then, so if if you need help trying, I see 2s. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. So yeah, this is a repaint. So because we were talking about it, like I said before, he let me know that he was really struggling trying to get a good eye picture. And so he really wanted to have the opportunity to send me another one in. And I'm glad that he did because I'm now able to, see like the features in his face and, his eye and, where his cheekbones are, his top lid and stuff like that. I can actually see like the hairs of his eyebrow. And, it's actually cool to see like the difference in, how, let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to get this photo. There we go. Oh no, come on. I'm trying to get this all formatted. Yeah, but to see the difference in approaching the same person just with a different quality of different quality photo. And I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. And I'm excited to show you guys this one. So lifelike. So some of you guys like the older painting. Sorry, I'm trying to. Here we go. All right, I have it, and it's ready to be posted on the Instagrams. It's still pretty. Well, I'm glad you like it. So let me show you guys. I have an art Instagram. The glare off of you'll be able to see it now. There's nothing really much I can do about that because it's wet paint. So this is my art Instagram. It should be in the description of this. I'm gonna put it here. There we go. So I have painted 50 eyes so far, and well, I guess this is 51, but this is a redo of a previous painting. So this is the painting that I just have redone from a different photo reference. So I'm going to play you guys this one, and then you guys can watch and see the difference. Got to upload this new one. Maybe you guys can see like a difference in technique. Oh, my amber ring in the hand that I'm painting with. You guys can see I have a ring on my middle finger. That ring broke, and I'm super sad. I got it when I went and visited the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles, and they always have like amber jewelry at places like that. And so I like wearing rings. If I find one in my size and in my price range, I will buy it. And I never had any amber jewelry before, so kind of upset. Oh my God, wait, no. I don't think that's where I got this one. I think I got that one in San Diego. I'm thinking of a different ring. I have another amber ring. I think the one I'm wearing I actually got in San Diego. Or maybe, I don't know. I can't remember. Well, the one that I got was my first amber ring I got there. And I can't remember if they're very similar. Geez, now it's going to bother me. But yeah, so if you guys are interested, I actually only have a few more spots left. I know my count is a little bit off, so maybe I'll ask again. But after I'm done with this human eye project, my plan is to actually do a one with animals. And that could be any animals. If you guys have like pets that you want eye painted, you know. Oh, I have 30 minutes. I have a stream. Sorry, my Instagram isn't even loading. It's really irritating. I'm trying to upload this so you guys can watch it. I was going to do a marathon, but I'm pretty tired already. Okay, come on. Let me see. I need to see where this is. So I need to... Okay, so it's right above that one. Okay, so it's one of the ones that's not loading. I'll play you this one for right now. So this one was... Upload. There you go. Click on another one. Oh, I'm so tired. Just gonna go to sleep as I'm typing in this. I'm sorry, it's dead air. I'm so tired. And I have a stream with Jesse. I might just lay in bed and have my phone facing me. I feel like there's a couple of them that I kind of want to redo. Okay. I'm so tired. How's everyone doing today? I have the chat up. Is the matriarchy still on? Yeah. I'm just super, super crazy and I've been awake for a long time and I'm just, I wanted to watch this Johnny Depp trial. And I was like, I'm not just going to sit here and not do anything. And I'm like, I haven't painted in a while, so why don't I just, paint, do another eye painting. I'm trying to find like these, photos so I can, whatchamacallit. When did I paint this? I'm trying to post it so you guys can see like the before and after in one post. I'm just having trouble finding the video of that. But if you guys haven't volunteered for the eye project, you guys totally should. It would be awesome of you. I only have a few spots left, so take that on mine. And if you guys want to jump ahead on my next project, the next project is I will be painting animals' eyes. So if you have like a pet that you want its eyes painted, you should take a picture of your eyes pet and send it to me. And just like this whole project, if you want, a painting with a little bit more detail, then I would need a more detailed photo to make sure that you're using like a good camera and everything. Where the fuck is this freaking time-lapse video? I scrolled so far back in my phone. Oh my goodness. I wish it would go by videos, but it doesn't. Show me when I painted this, mofo. When did I paint this? Aha! I found it. I think I did. Hmm. But yeah, let me guess, you've been playing Elden Ring again. I played it late or earlier, I guess I should say. I was playing it, but I'm not playing it currently. I'm obviously I'm taking forever to post something on Instagram to share with all of you guys. And while I'm doing that, I'm being a neglective hostess and not switching the mm, not switching the view. I can switch eyes. Just give me one momento. Here. Well, at least you guys are getting to see paste. All right, it's posting right now. So let's go through. Like, see, this is one that I would want to repaint. I feel like I made it way too dramatic. Then, I don't know. It also taught me that I shouldn't paint while I'm tired because I feel like I don't like my results as much. All right, but you see all the eyes? Also, if you have volunteered for the eye project and I have painted your eye, please let me know what kind of leafing you would like. I could do some CG covers. When is your next P.O.Box opening stream? Probably tomorrow, because I have so many freaking boxes now that have like piled up. I can't walk anymore. Oh, fucking load already, post. This is taking forever. The upload speed is horrendous. Oh, I need my back pop so bad. So what do you guys think of this Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp case? Paint the eye, my pet flea. Oh, that's mean. Oh no, it just said that I lost connection. That's fucking bullshit. Let's see. Repaint my eye. It's not that blue. Yes, it was. It was very blue in the picture. I like your eye painting. That's actually my favorite, well, one of my favorite. I can't say that because people will get upset. I like it. Let me see. I like the way that I did this, actually. I was very proud. Oh, gosh dang it, that's the problem with these ones. You might not think your eye is very blue, but I like the technique that I used to do that. And I like the way I did your, like, upper lid. I like it. That's one I would not repaint. But yeah. If I do repaint any, it'll be because, whatchamacallit. Well, in this case, you know, he was struggling with it, had a couple back and forths. He was very, very kind, very understanding. I think I even spelled his name wrong the very first time I painted his eye. And, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Patrick T, what's up? I got your mom's eye photo. I can't see the color very well, though, in the photo you sent me. But I will use the reference that you sent of her at that restaurant. Very classy looking lady. Yeah. You know, honestly, I think one of my favorite ones, though, that I painted was this one. Because you can see so much, like, so many different colors in the skin. And I was... This, believe it or not, was kind of a blurrier photo. And I was kind of like not sure about the colors because I thought it might not look good. But I'm actually very happy with the way that it turned out. And I was really nervous to like paint this little piercing that she has. But I'm really glad at the way that it turned out. And I don't know, I think it's like the eyebrow ridge that if I get it right, in my opinion, I really like it. And for people that have like really thick eyebrows, like for example, like these two right here, you don't really get to see the way that the brow bone is formed because you have the hair that covers it. So when you get people that have like almost no eyebrows, like this lady had, obviously she had some because I was able to see it to paint it in. But in this one, it's like I could see her brow bone and the way that it makes this kind of shape. I really like that part of it. So I do get biased at times, but that's just me. Okay, this is taking forever to upload. I might have to just go walk right next to my freaking, whatchamacallit. Right next to my router. Fuck, I'm falling asleep. Jesse's gonna be so mad at me. I think this is about the time yesterday that I went to bed. Okay, I'm gonna go walk and stand like right next to my modem. So I'll be right back. I'm just gonna turn up the volume so you guys can listen to Nick. I'll be right back.
Less boring moments than I expected with such a long case.
I mean, so far my sense is that Depp is coming across quite favorably, but of course it's always hazardous to base things hearing only one side of the argument, right? So, in fairness,
I think you and I.
This may be a case where, you know, once Amber Heard gets on the stand, it's only going to tell things more in John's.
It could be. It wouldn't surprise me.
I really hope they're going to needle her and see if they can get her to snap, because I bet she can't keep it. I bet she can't keep it together.
I still say they should have someone in the front row on Johnny Depp's side stand up and leave the courtroom and then come back to the courtroom every 3 to 4 minutes while she's testifying. I think that'll drive her nuts with that interview where the door was opening. It was driving her crazy. I would plan that personally. But Andrew, I think you and I both said covering one of the other trials at the end of the case in chief of the plaintiff in this case, but the prosecution the other, you should feel like they're winning.
Yeah,
like
absolutely. They should have it locked up. I mean, in theory, right? You've only really heard one side. That's the strongest case. It's never going to be higher, right? In theory, that's their high watermark.
That is in theory, but I have to say this case is unique in that way because so much of this case, the juice of it is the impeachment.
Okay, here we go. It is uploaded. Let me share my screen again. There we go. Let's do a little refresh on here. Also, if you guys are not following me on here, please do so. That would be awesome. Yay! It's a little more zoomed in than I would like, but it is what it is. All right, here we go. You guys get to see this is what I painted today. Let me make this full screen. So this stream that I just did, this is what I was doing. This is what I was doing this whole time. You guys can get a better view of it. Patrick T, thank you. I might be able to send you a better pic of my mom's eye. Okay, yeah. You know, you can send a better pic up until the moment that I start painting it. So you got plenty of time. Okay, so that was what I painted today. Now let's look over. Aw, thanks, my dude. Okay. So here we go. Before and after. What do you guys think? I'm going to ask a poll. I'm going to create a poll in both chats. Spelling this right. Maybe like type out a word and it's like, oh, this is like how you spell it, but it's like it looks weird. Like when you write like skiing. Okay. I have my thing pulled up over here. Let me ask everyone over here. I'm so tired. Okay, there's a poll going on in each of the chat, and it's which painting do you think is better? Number 1, original, or number 2, revised? And I am dual streaming this. So if you're on my art channel, go and vote. And if you are on my main channel, you can go and vote. So right now it's 100% at everyone likes the revised photo better. Everyone prefers this photo to this one. It's very encouraging. There's much more life to the revised one. I agree. Like you can just see how like flat this. Oh, you're not even seeing my screen. Sorry. So there's so much more like I feel like you can see shape in this one better, like in this area. It was still a little blown out in the picture as you get to the side of his face. So I would have had to like manipulate it in Photoshop to get a different view or like see more. But even like right here, you know, around like the bottom lid. And then there's like this is just flat. I'm kind of proud of myself. Let's okay. Still technically very good. Let's see. Let me read what you guys are saying in the comments. Old one looks like a different ethnicity. So yeah, that's why I said like the lighting. It was very, very yellow. And it was very, very bright. So, you know, when you see like old blown out photos. So I couldn't see like any of the like colors in his skin. And as you can see in like the new photo, there's so much more warmth and I can see, let me see. So I've explained this before when you're painting and when you're looking for color. So this is going to get kind of technical into color theory. So if you like that kind of stuff, you'll find this interesting. And if you don't, I apologize. Why is it not coming up? Sorry, it's not. There it is. That's why, because I'm crazy. So when you are dealing with color, and it doesn't matter if it's human, it doesn't matter if it's an environment, an animal, nighttime, morning, day, noon. So this is what you have to remember. When it's a warm light, you're always going to have a cool shadow. So wherever he is, where he's taking this photo, it's a warm light. That's why even in the original photo, you can see there's a lot of yellows. Well, that's because the light source is warm. And then in the shadows, I mean, even though these are browns and neutrals, you can still see I added either alizarin crimson or maybe ultramarine blue and mixed it with burnt umber to get this. And even right here in this new photo, still, I'm assuming in somewhat the same area, just a better photo, it has a warm light. And so that's why you get areas like this, which kind of comes close to yellow. And then you're able to see, and I'm sure it enhanced it as well, you're able to see the warmness of his skin. And then when you get into the shadows, this is more cool and it has more cool colors in it. And so this is like the rule of thumb. When it's a warm light, you're going to get a cool shadow. And with that, there's also the exact opposite. Let me find one that has a warm shadow on here. So like, for example, this one has a warm shadow. Same with this one. This one as well. When you get like these dark, if I click on these, I can pause it. Okay, so let's look at this one right here, because this is a really good example. So this one you can see right here, and you can see right here. Those are the brightest spots on the face, which means that's, where the highlight is coming from. So that's going to indicate what kind of light your light source is. So if you have a cool light, like an LED, and you can experiment with your LED lights, and I mean, whenever you look at light bulbs, you can see it. So when you have a cool light bulb, obviously that's a cool light source, and that means all of your shadows are going to be warm. So you can see like this area right here, that's very warm. And then you get this area right here. I mean, that's almost like pinkish purple, which is the colors that I use, like white mixed with like a very little bit of quinacridone magenta. And so that's why you get that. So this is a cool light with a warm shadow. Whereas the one that I just did this one. This is a warm light with a cool shadow. So it's the opposite. Fun facts, huh? I know I probably just bored you all to death, but I find it interesting. I really enjoy color theory. And yeah, but I'm glad that you guys like it. It looks like in my, whatchamacallit, in my art channel, it looks like, which you guys should all go follow. My art channel is called The Art of Anna, TSWG Studios. Go follow that channel. And that's where I usually do my art streams. It's just been a while since I did anything really on this channel, my main channel. So I wanted to just, show YouTube that I'm still alive, because I think I took basically a month off. So that's why I wanted to do this dual stream. I don't usually do this. I don't really enjoy doing it because it causes confusion. But that is why, in case anyone was interested. But over on my other one, I only have 31 votes. There's 56 people here. Okay, so I see 18% of people like the original one, and 82% like the revised one. So I'm just going to end the polls. And I'm about to pass out, so I need to go do something to wake myself up, because I'm supposed to be streaming with Jesse. But everyone, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. I'm so tired.